There is a woman in Kanazawa in her early 60s who has never once owned a 10-step skincare routine. Her bathroom shelf holds 4 bottles, not 40, each one nearly finished before the next is bought. She spends about 6 unhurried minutes on her skin every night. The same 6 minutes, in the same order, for as long as she can remember, unchanged since long before skincare had its own aisle at every drugstore. And when people meet her in person for the first time, the question is almost always the same. Not what do you use, but what do you actually do? Because whatever it is, clearly isn't what's written on the back of any bottle. People expect a long list of imported serums. What they get instead is an explanation that takes less than a minute. She has never done a chemical peel, never had filler, never once posted a 10-step routine online, and never felt the need to. And somewhere else in the world right now, someone is standing in front of a bathroom mirror surrounded by serums, essences, exfoliants, and retinol creams that cost more than her monthly grocery bill, following a routine with 11 separate steps, most of them purchased after watching someone online swear by them, and still breaking out, still dealing with dullness, still wondering which of the 11 products is secretly canceling out the other 10, and whether the breakout this week came from a new serum or from nothing at all. What if the difference has nothing to do with how many products you own, and nothing to do with how expensive any of them are, and everything to do with a handful of quiet, unglamorous habits that have almost nothing to do with what's inside the bottle at all? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what those habits are, why habit number 7 is the one almost nobody does, and the one that matters more than every product on your shelf combined, and how you can start tonight with what you already own. No shopping trip required before you begin. Let's take apart something almost everyone quietly believes about skin without ever questioning it directly. The belief is this: better skin comes from more product, more actives, more steps, layering enough powerful ingredients that something in there has to work. It's the entire premise the modern skincare industry is quietly built on. More serums, more steps, more spending, year after year. And for an enormous number of people, more product simply means more chances for irritation, more competing actives fighting each other on the same face, acids and retinols and vitamin C all layered together with no real plan behind the order, and a routine so complicated it eventually gets abandoned entirely out of sheer exhaustion. Right around the same time, a new 11-step routine gets purchased to replace it, promising the same results the last one did. Japanese skincare culture, built up over generations, tends to work from the opposite direction entirely. It isn't about maximizing what you apply. It's about minimizing what damages the skin in the first place, protecting what's already there, instead of constantly trying to fix what's gone wrong. A barrier that's never been damaged rarely needs an aggressive product to repair it, which is most of the philosophy in a single sentence. Let's go through the habits, because the order they happen in matters as much as the habits themselves, each one small enough to ignore on its own, and significant enough, stacked together, to explain most of the difference. And stay with this one through the end, because habit number 7 has nothing to do with any product at all, and it's the one nearly everyone watching is quietly undoing every single day without realizing it. The first habit happens before a single drop of cleanser touches the face. Removing makeup and sunscreen with oil first, traditionally camellia oil, tsubaki abura, massaged in slowly, patiently, before ever reaching for foam or water. Here's the mechanism. Sunscreen and makeup are largely oil-based, which means water-based cleansers alone often just push residue around rather than actually lifting it off, leaving a thin, invisible layer behind night after night, one that quietly blocks whatever product gets layered on top of it afterward. Oil dissolves oil completely, lifting everything away in one gentle pass instead of scrubbing at skin that's already been sitting under product for 12 or more hours. The shift: oil cleanse first, every single night, then follow with a gentle water-based cleanser only if needed. Most nights, the oil alone does nearly all the work. Skin that's properly cleansed once, slowly and gently, rarely needs the second and third cleanse so many modern routines insist on. The second habit sounds almost too simple to matter. Lukewarm water only, never hot. Standing under a hot shower and splashing that same hot water on your face feels good in the moment, especially in winter. But here's what it actually does to skin. Hot water strips the skin's natural protective oils along with the makeup, breaking down the barrier that's supposed to keep moisture in and irritants out. Skin washed in water that's too hot often ends up tighter, redder, and paradoxically produces more oil later in the day to compensate for what was stripped away, which then gets misread as a reason to cleanse even harder next time. The shift: lukewarm water for your face, always, even when the rest of your shower is hot enough to fog the mirror. Keep a small cup, bowl, or basin nearby if you shower with the water hot, so your face never even once has to touch it. The third habit is about touch, not ingredients. Patting instead of rubbing, both when cleansing and when applying every product afterward. Here's why this matters more than it sounds like it should. Rubbing and dragging skin, especially around the delicate eye area, creates ongoing mechanical stress that breaks down collagen over time through simple repeated friction. The same way folding a piece of paper in the same spot eventually wears through it. A slow, invisible kind of wear that only becomes obvious years later. Patting products in with the fingertips lets the skin absorb what it needs without the friction, and it's a habit visible in nearly every traditional Japanese skincare routine. Patting toner, patting cream, patting sunscreen. The shift: pat everything in gently, and stop pulling or dragging skin in any direction, ever. It feels slower at first, almost too gentle to be doing anything, which is usually a sign it's being done correctly. The fourth habit changes not what you use, but how many times you use it. Layering light hydration multiple times instead of one heavy cream once. Rather than a single thick moisturizer applied once, a much lighter lotion is applied in several thin layers, sometimes 3 or 4 passes, patiently letting each one absorb fully before the next begins. Here's the mechanism behind why this outperforms one heavy layer. A single thick application often sits on top of skin, rather than being absorbed, while several thin layers penetrate more completely each time, building hydration gradually instead of overwhelming the surface all at once. The same logic behind watering a dry plant slowly instead of flooding it once. The shift: thin layers, patted in, repeated 3 or 4 times, instead of one heavy layer applied once and left to sit. This is often called the sandwich method. Thin layer, pat, wait, thin layer again, building hydration the way you'd build up thin coats of paint rather than one thick one. The fifth habit has nothing to do with your face directly, it's about your bedroom. A humidifier running while you sleep, especially in drier months, heated rooms, or air-conditioned bedrooms in summer. Here's what dry air actually does overnight. Skin loses moisture continuously to dry surrounding air while you sleep, which is exactly when skin is supposed to be repairing itself, meaning hours of potential recovery get quietly undone by the air in the room itself, no matter how good the products were before bed. A humidifier keeps the air, and the skin exposed to it, from drying out during the exact window meant for repair. The shift: run a humidifier in your bedroom overnight, treating the air in the room as part of the routine, not separate from it. A $15 humidifier often does more overnight than a $50 overnight mask, applied to already dehydrated air. The sixth habit is a once-a-week ritual, not a nightly one, rooted in an old beauty tradition called nuka, rice bran, once used in small cloth pouches, called nuka bukuro, as a gentle facial and body scrub passed down through generations. Rice bran contains natural oils and mild enzymes that lift away dullness without the harshness of a chemical exfoliant, leaving skin soft rather than stripped. Here's why this is used weekly instead of daily. Over-exfoliating strips the skin's barrier just as effectively as hot water does, and a gentler, less frequent approach preserves the barrier while still removing buildup regularly enough to matter, without ever pushing skin into that raw, reactive state daily scrubbing tends to cause. The shift: one gentle rice bran or fine-textured exfoliation a week, not a nightly scrub, giving the skin days in between to simply recover. If rice bran isn't available, a fine oatmeal or a very soft washcloth borrows the same gentle principle. The seventh habit is the one nearly everyone watching is doing right now without realizing it: and it has nothing to do with any product on your shelf at all. Touching your face throughout the day, resting a chin in a hand during a meeting, scratching an itch, leaning a cheek against a palm while scrolling a phone, propping a jaw up through an entire afternoon of meetings. Here's why this one habit can undo every other habit on this list combined. Hands touch door handles, phones, keyboards, elevator buttons, and countless other surfaces throughout the day, transferring bacteria and oil directly onto skin dozens of times without a second thought, introducing exactly the kind of buildup and irritation the entire evening. Ritual is trying to undo, quietly canceling out an oil cleanse, a humidifier, and a careful patting routine in a single unconscious gesture. Japanese beauty culture places unusual emphasis on simply being aware of this habit and interrupting it. The shift: notice every time your hand reaches for your face today and gently redirect it. This single habit, done consistently, often outperforms an entire extra step added to your routine. Try counting how many times your hand reaches for your face in just the next hour. Most people are surprised the number isn't 0. It's closer to a dozen. The 8th habit happens before you ever leave the house, not after you get home. Sun protection treated as non-negotiable daily infrastructure, not something reach for only on visibly sunny days. Parasols, wide-brimmed hats, and SPF applied every single morning regardless of the weather outside, rain, shine, or the middle of winter, since UV exposure continues even through clouds and glass. Here's the mechanism worth understanding. Ultraviolet damage accumulates silently over years, breaking down collagen long before any visible sign appears, meaning the protection that matters most is the protection applied on the ordinary, unremarkable, cloudy days nobody thinks to protect against, the days that make up the overwhelming majority of a year. The shift: SPF every morning, cloudy or not, treated as a non-negotiable habit, rather than an occasional afterthought. It's a small daily action with almost no visible reward today, and an enormous one a decade from now. And the 9th habit happens nowhere near a mirror at all. It happens at the dinner table. Fermented foods and mineral-rich broths, miso, natto, and dashi, eaten regularly as part of an ordinary meal, not as a supplement or trend. Here's what this is actually doing. Fermented foods support gut health, and gut health has a well-documented relationship with inflammation levels throughout the entire body. Inflammation that shows up on skin as dullness, breakouts, and slower healing. The exact symptoms most topical products are asked to fight from the outside alone. A mineral-rich broth, simmered slowly from bones and kelp, provides some of the same building blocks skincare products claim to deliver topically, just absorbed from the inside instead, where the body can actually use them. The shift: one serving of a fermented food or a proper broth most days, treating what you eat as part of the routine, not separate from it. No topical product can fully replace what a genuinely well-fed gut does for the skin over months and years. So here's all 9 in one breath. Oil cleanse first every night. Lukewarm water only, never hot. Pat everything in, never rub. Thin layers of hydration, repeated instead of one heavy layer. A humidifier running while you sleep. Gentle rice bran exfoliation once a week, not nightly. Notice and stop touching your face throughout the day. Daily sun protection, rain or shine. And fermented foods or mineral broth regularly at the table. None of this requires an 11-step routine, an expensive serum, or a single new product you don't already own. What it requires is something smaller and much harder to sell, protecting what your skin already has instead of constantly trying to add more on top of it. So here's what we'd suggest, not next week, tonight. Pick just one of these 9 habits, the one that felt most surprising, and start with only that one tonight. Tomorrow, add a second. Let the routine simplify slowly, instead of trying to overhaul your entire shelf and habits in a single overwhelming night. Most people who fix their skin for good never do it by buying one more product. They do it by quietly removing one damaging habit at a time until what's left is simply what works. The woman in Kanazawa with her 4 bottles and her 6 quiet minutes has never once called any of this a skincare philosophy. To her, it's simply what you do before bed, the same way you'd brush your teeth without needing 11 separate products to do it. Unremarkable, automatic, and something she simply never had a reason to overthink. If this changed the way you think about your own routine, share it with someone who's spent hundreds on products this year and still isn't seeing the results they were promised. They might be one habit away, not one product away, from finally seeing a difference, and it might not cost them anything at all to find out, since most of these habits are entirely free. This has been a look into the quiet habits behind skin that ages slowly and heals easily. Not a replacement for what a dermatologist tells you specifically about your own skin, an invitation to notice what your ordinary evenings are actually doing to it, for better or worse. Tell us in the comments which of these 9 habits you're starting with tonight, and which one surprised you the most. We'll see you in the next one.